You're listening to the Geriatric Mamas Podcast with Jessica Raziri
and Sonia Tapley. I don't eat ball sacks. Oh my God.
Oh God.
Well, okay. Shall we get into the episode?
Yes, I don't even know where this. I don't know where this conversation's going, so we should probably just move forward.
This is just like our lives on Sundays, I guess.
Yeah.
So today we have a HOPEisode. And just a reminder, the purpose of HOPEisodes is to provide hope to those who are in the thick of their fertility journeys. Each HOPEisode will share a different woman's journey to geriatric mamahood, whether it be through fertility treatments, surrogacy, adoption, regardless of the method. All of these women have endured heartache, disappointment, anxiety, and stress before finally being blessed with their miracle rainbow babies.
Yes. So on today's HOPEisode, I'm going to be reading Nichole's story. So Nichole sent us her fertility journey after seeing Alyssa's Instagram post about last week's Mompreneur episode with Baby Booty. Nichole actually went to high school with Alyssa and I. So it's funny because at first when I saw like the last name, I asked Alyssa, I was like, is this the same Nichole? And she's like, yes. So super excited to be reading her story. Thank you, Nichole, for sending this in. I had no idea, as nobody would, right? Unless somebody opens up and shares. But a little bit about Nichole, and don't worry, Nichole, this will be very PC, I promise. Yeah. no, she's fine. Nichole, I was telling Sonia before we jumped onto this, she's always had that like mom aura about her. Like she was kind of like the, ringleader in a way of like our little group. And so she also was just like, had that like I just remember always feeling safe, when like she was around, we'd go to parties and stuff. And it was like, I kind of like looked up to her in a way of just like, oh, I need to stay close to her. She's going to protect me. She's good or whatever. Yeah. So she's always kind of had that like motherly, nurturing kind of like aura about her. So, I mean, it only makes sense that she found her way to being a mama. So I'm just like so happy. So there's no doubt in my mind that she's going to be an absolutely amazing mom. So really love that she, took the time to put this story together. What are you doing? What was that?
Nothing.
Like Sadia just like pissed herself really
like
quickly.
Does it sound like
it literally
I
sounds like it sounds like you just pissed in a bucket.
No. Well, no, I didn't. My iced tea peed in a bucket.
Okay. All right. I'm just like, listen, I know we're not sharing the video for this one, but Jesus Christ, Sonia, keep it together, please.
Oh my God.
Okay. So I guess I'll just like get right into reading this. So it is a long one, so bear with me, but it's really good. And I'm going to try my best not to cry. I actually broke down a couple times when I was reading it.
I did too.
To myself, I was like, get it together, Jessica. Okay. In the fall of 2020, my now husband and I got pregnant sort of by accident, and I ended up having a miscarriage at 9 weeks. I had no fear about having a miscarriage at the time because I didn't even consider it to be an option. I just thought, I'm pregnant, and so, okay, we are doing this. When I had the miscarriage, I was obviously very upset, but I knew that I wanted to try again and that having a child and being pregnant was something that I wanted for sure. My then boyfriend and now husband and I were not on the same page for a long time, and that was really difficult. He wanted to wait, and I wanted to try again right away. Oh, that's so hard. So I started really focusing on my health, and I changed my diet pretty significantly. Everything in my shopping cart was now organic. Little thing about this, I actually was watching Nichole's kind of journey to health online, not in a creepy way, but like she was sharing kind of, updates of her progress and stuff. And like when she says that she changed drastically, like, yes, like you could just tell like she was glowing. She just absolutely looks amazing. I started really focusing on gut health and supplementing to prepare for my next pregnancy. We started trying again about 9 months later, I'd say, and I got pregnant right away. For me, getting pregnant is no problem, but keeping the pregnancy has been. This time I felt so much more confident. I thought miscarriages aren't common. It was just a one-time thing. This time it's going to be different. I've been really focusing on my health. We went in for our first ultrasound at 10 weeks, excited to see and hear a heartbeat, and there wasn't one. The baby was measuring a little less than 8 weeks, so they said, maybe this machine isn't strong enough. We're going to have to send you to a different place. I had another appointment 3 days later, and at that appointment, it was confirmed that there was no heartbeat. I miscarried at home that weekend. Ugh.
Mm-hmm.
Is 10 weeks kind of late for not miscarriage, for an ultrasound?
Yeah,
Or is that normal?
I feel like it's normal for like normal pregnancies, but since she had
Okay.
had a miscarriage before, I feel like it's a little late. I would want to see it at like I would want to see the heartbeat at 8 weeks, you know?
Yeah.
Personally,
Well,
that would
it's
just
like
be
it's yeah, because it's so different because like you and I going through like all the fertility stuff and going through
yeah,
fertility clinics, they give you like an ultrasound every other week. So I
right.
honestly don't know what's normal. So I had
Yeah.
no idea. That's such a long time to wait.
Mm-hmm. It is.
At this point, I still had some hope, but obviously was very disappointed, very upset and depressed. Once again, my now husband, then boyfriend, wanted to wait. Each time this happened, it was very difficult on me and on our relationship. I can imagine.
Mm-hmm.
I decided to work with a naturopath and I started following her guidance and seeing her in Florida. A few times she did some work on me called orthobioanatomy.
Yeah.
What is that?
Orthobionamy. I'm not sure.
Orthobioanatomy? I'll have to look that
We'll have
up.
to put it in the show notes. Yeah.
Yeah. And she gave me a bunch of suggestions and guidance on what to do to boost progesterone and different things to do to heal and help me spiritually, physically, and emotionally. I was taking certain supplements and eating certain foods. She wanted to see a diary of all the food that I ate and that my husband ate for a few weeks. We followed along, had phone appointments with her, and would make appointments with her whenever I was in Florida, which was pretty often at the time, but I probably saw her a total of 4 times in person. So fast forward, and we got pregnant again as soon as we started trying, which was November-ish of 2022. At this time, I was so nervous, but still had some hope. I had heard people say that they've had miscarriages and they were able to have a baby, and people would tell me miraculous stories. So I believed that if it could happen for them, maybe it could happen for me too. Honestly, if it weren't for hearing countless people tell me different stories of success, I probably wouldn't have had the same kind of hope, but who knows? The last part of the story is that I went in for an ultrasound and I was supposed to be close to 9 weeks at this point. I had done some blood work with a doctor and they had done a
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
graphy, or
Yeah.
whatever it's called, where they put a little fluid into my uterus to see if there were any polyps or cysts or reasons why the baby wasn't attaching properly, and everything was fine. My
Mm-hmm.
blood work was fine. The technician even said that my uterus was beautiful. So I came to find out at this appointment for the 9 weekish ultrasound that I was measuring at 5 weeks one day. And of course, again, I was having an unsuccessful pregnancy. Jesus.
Mm-hmm. I know. I can't.
This one was really challenging because I felt like I was being tricked. All right, I'm trying to keep it together.
I know.
I kept finding out that I wasn't successfully pregnant after weeks of thinking that I was and still having symptoms. For this unsuccessful pregnancy, they told me that the gestational sac was abnormally shaped. I opted for an unconscious DNC because F that again. Yeah, I don't blame you,
Mm-hmm.
Nichole. My God. I told my boyfriend that I just didn't know if I could do this again and I was ready to give up. He had talked to one of his friends whose wife had a DNC after a miscarriage, and then they had a successful pregnancy. And he told me that he really wanted to try again, just one more time, and that he had a really good feeling about it. I said, okay. At this time, we ended up getting engaged, which was super exciting and what I had wanted for a long time. And I decided that I didn't want to be pregnant in a wedding dress, so we decided that we would wait until we got married to try again, which meant we needed to get married really soon. Haha. That was her laugh, not mine.
Yeah.
I knew, haha, move on. I knew that as soon as I started trying, I would get pregnant. There was no doubt in my mind that I was going to get pregnant again. It was a question of whether or not it was going to work. I was still taking really good care of myself with the nutrition and supplements, getting exercise, and really following the alternative fertility paths, because the doctors were just telling me that everything was fine and that they weren't sure what was wrong. That's so frustrating.
I know.
Because it's like, just tell me. Like, I need to know what the hell. Like, that's so frustrating.
Even with Mike and I, it was unexplained. But then at the same time, like, test results kind of explained it a little bit, So.
Yeah, I know. Oh my God. And she has this little like excerpt in here. She says, actually, my OBGYN told me that my eggs are probably just a little moldy. What the fuck? Yeah. What? Please tell me she was joking. Like, Jesus.
No.
Eggs are probably just a little moldy.
Yeah.
She recommended taking progesterone when I got pregnant again, and which I wasn't sure if I was going to do that or not. Like, if some bitch is telling me that I have moldy eggs, I think I would probably tell her to fuck right off. Like, even if it's true, but like, Jesus, like, there's not another word you could use. Moldy?
Yeah, wait till you see who the OBGYN is at the end. Just wait.
God, moldy? Like, I literally can't. Like, now I'm picturing like a bowl of like old ball sack.
Like, I feel like
blueberries.
Your doctor put it much more gently. Dr. Koo did a much more...
He was literally comparing them to marbles, and this bitch is calling them moldy eggs. Like, oh my God.
Can't wait till you read the last part at the very end.
Oh shit, Nichole. I'm so sorry that somebody said that to you. I can't. I literally can't. We started trying literally the night we got married. Okay, maybe morning after. LOL. And it was 2 weeks later, or maybe 3, that I took a positive pregnancy test. This time I was so full of fear because I had obviously had the unsuccessful experiences previously. And how could I possibly feel assured and positive given my past experiences? It just sucks because it's like each time it's like your spirit just like dims, It's like you have that fire in you and it just keeps dimming each time you experience loss. And then towards the end, you're just like, you're numb, but you're not numb. It's just like, it's like the excitement and joy of it is stripped. Like it's taken from you. That excitement is taken from you. You're not allowed to be excited. It just sucks.
And then you have PTSD.
You do. You literally do.
Yeah.
I was having some cramping on one side that I finally decided to call about, and they wanted to do an ultrasound to see if the baby was attached in the right place, not ectopic. I had had some blood work done to check my HCG levels, which were going up. So when I went to the ultrasound at about 6 weeks, there was a confirmed heartbeat, which I had never seen before. Oh my God. That feeling is just so friggin' amazing. Like, oh my God, when we saw that flickering of Hayden, like I can't even, it was just, I couldn't even believe it. Like, it's just crazy.
One of my nurses or the ultrasound tech, or I don't know what they're called, but they told me that once they see the heartbeat, like the chance of miscarriage goes down significantly. Like basically you're 99% like going to carry through with the pregnancy. So it was awesome. Yeah.
Like, I know things can happen, but it's just like it goes way down. You're not as much of a risk as you were before. So, God, it's so good. I wasn't surprised or shocked because I had the blood work. So I knew the baby was growing, but they were able to confirm that the size was what it was supposed to be at that time, and it was attached in the right place, and it looked to be in the right shape. Thank God.
Yeah.
So my next plan of action was to have my ultrasound at 10 weeks like normal. I decided to start taking progesterone. I was too nervous not to. That was a whole other experience. I'm so glad that she did opt to take the progesterone because like I understand it sounds scary and you're not sure if you want to do that, especially if you're like been on this like health kick of all these like natural things. You're so cautious of what you're putting in your body and you don't really want to like mess around with your hormones. But like progesterone, like for me, I felt like was the saving grace of like making sure that my pregnancy stuck, like just because of what I had gone through. So like, I am glad that she opted for that.
Yeah.
From week 6 to 10 before that ultrasound, I was a nervous wreck. It was very difficult because I had never made it that far before and had always had this experience of thinking that everything was okay and then finding out that it wasn't. Again, you're not allowed to be happy because you're just waiting for that, other shoe to drop. So we went in for our 10-week and everything was perfect. Heart rate was normal, size measured perfectly, and I could even see him moving around. Oh my God. It took another couple of weeks for me to feel a little bit more relaxed, but finally we're pregnant and healthy, expecting a boy March 19th. Oh my God, it's just around the corner. Holy shit. That's so exciting.